Very warm welcome to all the participants today, and also to my fellow panelists, Professor Raj and Rishabh, who's an alum, as well as um, an entrepreneur, as well as a family business owner. Good to have you here, Rishabh.
Thank you, sir.
Um, yeah. So, the onset, let me just set the context by giving you a brief overview about the family business and entrepreneurship program at Great Lakes, Chennai. Um, as we have uh, seen in the last at least 3 years or 4 years rather, especially post-COVID, we have seen, very significant growth in A, startups, and B, India's own businesses diversifying and entering new industries, right? Our ecosystem has completely changed. There is ample funding available in terms of access to private equity, venture capital. At the same time, there have been multiple other drivers which has led to formalization of business and scaling up of the successful companies, right? One of the key elements there is GST, right? With GST coming in, a lot of small businesses have gone out of the picture, and the bigger, more structured companies, right, have grown larger, right? Now they're not limited to one geography, one state. You can seamlessly expand across the country, right? Another driver is that India is right now the cusp of a prolonged period of secular growth, right? Every country which has been at this around $2,500, in fact, $2,000 per capita income onwards, has grown significantly in the next decade, right? We are, let's say, about 20 years behind China, and China had a fantastic run up to about 2010, 12, right? That's a golden period, 90s and 80s onwards. They had nearly 3 decades of growth, but you have seen that happening in the Southeast Asia earlier in 90s and all. We heard of the Asian tigers, right? So every country which has gotten to this level of per capita income has significant growth drivers led by domestic consumption. Now people have enough money to spend on things beyond roti, kapda, makan, right? Now you want all kinds of things. You want to go to the malls, you want to buy nice cars, right? This those are all things that drive the economy beyond the bare minimum requirements that people were fulfilling earlier, right? And apart from that, now you have a powerful driver compared to 20 years back, which is the internet itself, that's driving so many of the tech businesses, which perhaps the other countries which were in the developmental stage did not have, 20, 30 years back. So everything is aligned towards India's growth trajectory only getting better and better, right? So with that being the context, we thought, the largest job creators in India are family business owners, so the small and medium family businesses, whereas entirely the ecosystem is large businesses, right? As a business school, our students, right, and we get some of the best students in the country. Last year, we had about 17,000 applicants for about 600 seats between our 1 year and 2 year programs, right? Now, all of them come and they're all focused on getting into large marquee companies, right? Consulting firms, right? Banking and financial services, FMCG, and so on, which is all great. Uh, but then bulk of India's job creators, right? The businesses, right? The small and medium businesses, right? They don't get access to high quality professional education, right? And we thought that we can make a difference here by having a program focused on family businesses and entrepreneurs, right? Which is customized to their requirements. And while the basics of business are common, right? Management sciences are common. The difference is in the orientation of the students themselves, and second, the focus of things beyond the curriculum, right? For example, in typical full-time MBA programs, the entire focus is on placements, right? That's what students are focused on. The moment they think of MBA, it's about, turbocharging their career, taking a leap in their career. Our students have a 3x typical growth from when they join the program, especially our 1 year program, which has experienced candidates. The average salary goes from somewhere like 5-6 lakhs when they come into, 17-18 lakhs when they graduate, right? That's what the focus is on. Whereas, somebody who's a business owner, the focus has to be very different, right? Your entire focus is actually building the skills, right? Building the competencies required to manage an overall business, right? You're not going to spend time like, sitting for companies, listening to their lectures about how their culture is, how they're the best places to work, right? You want to figure out how to solve business problems in the real world, right? You want to figure out how to attract talent. You want to figure out, how to scale, right? You want to figure out how to adopt technology to bring down your costs, right? Or you have to figure out like, what are the avenues, right, to diversify, right? Where is growth? Where are the growth opportunities going to come for the future, right? Where are the disruptors? That's really your focus. And we thought we should have a customized program focused on entrepreneurs, right? And entrepreneurs can be, you know, people who found startups, but also entrepreneurs can be within large businesses, right? Um, every business requires entrepreneurship. Even if you are like 100-year-old business, you have to reinvent, otherwise you'll become history, right? Which is what has happened. If you look at Fortune 500 companies, right? Especially if let's say Fortune 10, the top 10 companies in the world, that list changes every decade, right? Half the companies get out of that in a matter of just 10 years. So companies don't last forever, right? So you need to reinvent, be an entrepreneur, or you'll become, as I say, a dinosaurs, right? So you don't want to do that, especially with the kind of growth opportunities India has. So this will be a platform for you to build the skills that would help you in your growth journey, driving your business, right? So that's just the context. I'd now like to, invite Professor Raj Shankar to give his initial comments. He's a program director of the 1 year full-time MBA program at Great Lakes, and he's also going to be the program director for the family business program. And we couldn't find somebody more apt than him to lead this program because he happens to be a professor of entrepreneurship and strategy, right? And he has been an entrepreneur himself, and has been a consultant, and he's among India's very best researchers in the area of entrepreneurship. He has had, I think, 4 FT, that is Financial Times 50 publications in the last 2-3 years, which is perhaps the best in the country, right? So we're privileged to have him both as a panelist today, but more importantly as the program director for the PGPM FP, right? So over to you, Professor Raj. I think if you can maybe give an overview about the program itself, how it's planned, how it's going to be delivered. I think we'll take it from there.
Thanks, Gautam. Your very kind words. And welcome again to all the attendees. We know that you're really interested in either starting up or wanting to scale up your family business. And as Gautam said, I think we put our heads into this to understand what we can deliver. And as always, I think as Great Lakes, I think one of the things we do is we want to ensure that every student walks out of our gates with real value for the time and energy they spend with us. And so just in similar fashion, what we try to do is we try to create a program that is tuned to what a family business owner or a person who wants to start a new business would or should do. So what we have done is initially so this is a typical 1 year program, a typical executive MBA, fast pace, and that's what family business owners, entrepreneurs want. They don't want the slow moving things, and speed is something they like. So we've created the program to match their speed and ambition. During the first three terms while you're picking up the basics of all the fundamentals across all business functions, etc. What we will straight away start is to give you or draw inspiration. So what we're going to focus on is we're going to have these family business clinics right up front. You're going to meet successful family business owners of various scales, understand from them what they did at different stages of their, careers, as well as family business, leading family business. We're going to talk to people from various generations, and so on. And so, therefore, we set the kind of the foundation for you to be completely inspired, take your family business or your new venture to the next level. And then during these clinics, we also meet people who matter to those who want to scale their businesses. So we talk not just to entrepreneurs and family business owners, we also talk to business leaders of various large corporations, both public and private, on how to work with them, how to get to them. We talk to investors, VCs, angels, etc. We also talk to this new emerging form of investors like the family business offices, how they are set up, why do they set up, how do they manage, etc. And then we get started to, kind of start looking at the specifics of a family business. So once you have the basic understanding of management and organization as a science, then we get into your particular interest area, which is family business and entrepreneurship. So there we focus a lot on, aspects that are critical to you. For example, how do you professionalize a family business? What are the aspects that are required? The second big challenge that family businesses face is how do intergenerational leaders work together? How do they leverage each other's strengths? Not just handling conflicts, but every generation comes with its strengths. How do we work and utilize and leverage these? We look at how succession should work. So, for example, should we diversify? Should we grow the core? So, all the strategies behind growing the business and how succession can play hand in hand with strategy. So, we look at that. We look at how some of your family businesses, especially, can set up family offices, and that is growing in India. And so, and finally, when we look at strategy, the aspect of scaling a family business, how fast should we scale? How do you use technology in scaling these businesses? How can you maybe internationalize your business, and so on? So all of these will be course-wise inputs to you, which means these will be led by the best faculty in the areas of entrepreneurship and family business. A mix of both, as with all our programs, you would know that we bring in a mix of both academic and practitioner inputs, and therefore there will be the equal mix here as well. So therefore you will get to see the best of both worlds. In parallel, all our FBE students will have mentors attached to them. And this is something I learned by working, and you will hear from Rishabh when he speaks a little later in this webinar. Rishabh was one of our students and who recently passed out. He has a family business. By working with him, we understood that family businesses have unique requirements. These entrepreneurs think about their businesses. So we will work with you individually. We'll help you assess yourself, your strengths, your capabilities, that of your family, that of your business. How do you use the reputation? How do you safeguard the reputation, trust, legitimacy that your family and your family business brings? We look at how do you set goals for growth. Should you only grow in size, or should you grow in impact? Should you grow in scope of work, and so on and so forth? So these are things we'll work with you individually. Then we work with how to get you to win large contracts. So how do you network and bid for big contracts with industry, government stakeholders? So we'll work with you on developing a business plan to achieve these goals. And this is going to be a running project. So you're going to work with your own business. It's a live project that you will work. And what you will also do is you will probably start working on, experiments, small pilots, so that you can actually demonstrate that you can actually do these things to your family members. And sometimes it's also good to demonstrate this, because then your senior family members of the previous generation will develop a lot more trust in your abilities, will develop a lot more confidence that the next generation has the capability to do this. So that's something we're going to work with. We will work on concepts such as growth hacking. What are the tools you can use to hack growth in a positive sense? And And then how do you use this to achieve, the sort of blitz scaling and things like that we are talking about these days. So these are things we will do, and then eventually we will have this whole pitch event to investors. It's not necessarily to raise money. I know some of you might have your own, you want to have control over your family business, etc. But the fact is that you get validation from external stakeholders who matter. So we get you serious angels, serious um, venture capitalists into the room, and we make you do the professional formal pitch. So we'll work with you on business storytelling and things like that. So when we do all of this at the end of the program, we hope that you are already on your way to actually taking your business to the next level or starting a new enterprise. You will still do some essential aspects of the Great Lakes, the unique things of Great Lakes, like you'll participate in a Karma Yoga social impact project. I think it makes us socially conscious leaders, and that is what we want with all our students. And therefore, we'll do that. You will continue to have interesting emerging topics like how do you deal with international business? Does ethics and sustainability, how does this matter to you? And how can you use this, to bring this more into your business? We talk about emerging technologies, Industry 4.0. How does artificial intelligence play a role? Can you leverage it in the businesses you are in? And so on. So I think it gives a good mix of not just attending learning subjects, but also putting them to practice right away. So through the program, the focus is on you taking this to your family business, thinking about how you can do this with your family business, getting feedback from your family, and therefore implementing some of these things. And to the end event, we really hope that your family will come in, join you in, seeing you pitch and see the transformation that happens in you as a student in the next 1 year. And we truly look forward to having, our own, successful entrepreneurs. So we move from, as Gautam said, from job seekers, we start generating a lot more job creators, and you will be leading this big transformation that's happening in India, where entrepreneurship is going to be the tool that's going to create all these jobs that our young country needs. So that's largely the program. In terms of design, it's going to be extremely hands-on, experiential. You will have lab courses where you will actually work on things like your business plan. You actually develop, get live feedback on a weekly basis. It's totally hands-on. It's going to have a lot of clinics, which means you're going to have one-on-one sessions with mentors, industry experts, and these are sessions where you will get close feedback on your specific project. And you also have an international immersion as part of this program. You get to go to a top institute in Europe to work, not just attend classes and get some credits, but you also get a chance to visit some industries as part of this international immersion. So you get a chance to work with them. And we are deepening our international relations. So we're going to have more exchange programs for our students, and therefore these will be also open to you. With that, I think I've given you a fair idea of what we plan to do in our program. Interestingly enough, several of our old PGDM full-time students from the 1 year and 2 year programs, several of them have gone back to their family businesses and actually are doing quite well for themselves. And so we thought it might be good to, not just me tell you what you will get, but also hear from somebody who has got what and who's trying to implement some of those things in his program. So in his business. Therefore, I think it'll be nice to hear Rishabh share some of his experiences. He comes from a family business, as you heard. He's gone back. He's a third generation family business owner. And we've been in touch. We continue to be in touch to understand how he can handle some of his issues. And it's interesting to hear how, as a young person, he manages several people who have worked with his parents and his grandparents for so many years. How does he win the trust of these people? How does he manage a large all-India task force, sales force? He has several challenges, but he's doing quite well for himself. And so I'd love to invite Rishabh over to spend the next 5-10 minutes telling us how he used his time at Great Lakes and how that is helping him today when he's trying to run his business. So Rishabh, I'd like you to just quickly, take 2 minutes, tell us what your business is, because several of them may not know, and then get on to telling us, how your time at Great Lakes and especially things around mentoring and learning and things like that is helping you today. So thanks
Yeah.
so much for coming over.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this an opportunity. So I'd like to share my screen. I'll just take 2 minutes. Uh, Sorry, I guess I'm not allowed to share. So,
Yeah.
so the thing is, I'll just go through my website.
Okay.
What we deal into. So we are the manufacturers household products, as you can see here. We are into this business from past 25 years. As Raj sir said, we are I am the third generation. So we are the manufacturer of such products. These products which we daily use at our places every day. Water bottles, flasks, insulated bottles. So this types of bottles which we manufacture in our manufacturing unit, which is in Daman. So I want to say that Raj sir helped me a lot in this. Like he was the one person who guided me, like how to keep a professional and a personal life different. Also, that how you can say how I was able to see that it is important to keep a right person at the right place. How I have to embrace the professional management. That skill I've always learned from the Raj sir. Also, there was an word that sir said, that growth hacking. Yeah, it is very really important. It is really important that in family business, growth hacking plays a very important role. Where data now, as also sir mentioned, that growth is the most important criteria, because you are taking the legacy and values with you in the future. So it's like, as we know, 70% of the GDP comes from in family business in India. So it plays a very important role here, that we as a family owners, what we contribute. We are not the job, we are not the job seeker, we are a job giver. So I made sure that as much as job I could give, I tried to do that. I brought new people into my management. I made sure the whole management structures got changed, but I made sure that the tradition and the values didn't got changed. Because once the tradition and values start getting changed, you get differences between your parents, which I also got to know after a very long period of time, when things were really messed up. Like I got fight with my dad. He was like, "No, you are changing everything. It's not done." So the point which family business struggles is to maintain the legacy, the value, the tradition, the culture they have been bringing from past so many years. They want to maintain that. So being a management student, I was very aggressive. I was very data driven. Yeah, I'm still data driven, but I have to make sure that this India works on a relationship. India will always be running on a relationship. We have distribution network pan India. We have certain. I'll give an example. My distributor was there in Kota. It's a place in Rajasthan. His wife got a cancer. So his payment, we say credit period in our terms, the credit period went up to 160 days. So being a management student, I was like, I can't give this much liberty to a distributor. He will exploit me and he will exploit other distributors and market as well. So I just told him, no, I don't want to continue. I made a new distributor. Again, I made a new distributor. That distributor also turned to be a defaulter. Then my uncle asked me, why did you change that distributor? He was ready to work. It's just certain times there are certain period where a person is finding very difficult to go with. That was a difficult phase, and you should maintain the relationship that time. And after Diwali, literally he cleared all the outstanding, and he thanked us that we are very grateful that we as a brand gave him so much liberty, and we supported him to this through this what he was going to. So family business is also same as relationship. You have to build relationship. You can't, if you are not maintaining any relationship, not with outsiders but with the family member itself. One thing I learned, that you have to make sure every morning you have to sit with the family members and you have to ask what is going on with them, what they are doing. Because if you want to really have to maintain this legacy going on. You need to know that no matter you have any grudges with your father or with your brother or anyone in the family, but you have to make sure what is going on with them, what they are trying to do, what you are trying to do, what you have other challenges, so that it makes pretty clear picture for you and the other members as well. So this was the thing. And also, we as a family business, we know that adaptability and resilience plays a very important role. No matter, as Gautam sir said, that GST, we were the, like, family business owners were the only one who was really able to adapt that thing. And the fastest adaptability that comes is family business. Resilience also comes to that. Whenever we family businesses face any financial crisis, we make sure we don't show it to our faces. You will never see that we have really have certain financial crisis, because the savings which we keep, the assets which we keep, plays a very important role. So being into a family business also make sure you don't have to look into a just single picture. Don't make yourself look like you are just don't like you don't have to look at a single picture. You have to look very other things, finance, operations. You have to see market. I was the one, when I joined the business, I was like, I did sales and marketing. I won't look into finance and anything. One day my dad came and told me, what if I die one day? What you will do? I was like, I was speechless, because there were many other things. What if we are a factory owner? Bolte, that there's a saying, he said me in Marwadi. So I was like, what to, I don't even had anything to say, because don't make yourself to a limit, because family business is very limitless. International business, modern trade, general trade, India market is too big. Even when you heard this, I'll suggest everyone to listen this podcast between Raj Samani and Dipendra Goyal, where Dipendra Goyal literally said that India is too big for business. There is no limit for any business in India. You can be limitless. If you really try hard, you can be limitless. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making very making a good space for every businesses. Now I have launched a new segment in Good Day. I have made sure I was, as Raj sir said, as also Gautam sir said, China is 20 years ahead. No, China is 100 years ahead of us. I have been China. I've been into China. I was in China from past 30 days. I have seen them working. They work limitless. They don't even care what they are doing. The owner himself was loading the truck. I was like, how? You don't have any integrity or what? So he was like, why should I care for integrity? Why should I care for anything? It's my business. I am ready to do it. This type of thinking was there before. My father used to carry the loads on and used to load the trucks. But now we don't, because me as an, I think like I have a degree. I have so much attitude, why I should carry a single bag with me. I have a person. So no, it should not be like that. Family business should be it's very vast. It's every angle you have to see it. If you see only one angle, you won't run any businesses, because business is all about seeing a different angle. Every department, every people, also people management plays an important role. Sometimes you or your brother will have a fight. People are going to see in the organization. You have to make sure that that doesn't affect you or the organization or the employees. That plays an important role. Trust me, guys. This grudges between family members plays a very important role, where people really think that they get an attitude that, yeah, this is not going to go further or what. They get only one thought in mind. So that happened to me as well. Also, international business for family business is very vast. I myself is traveling a lot. I know international business is very good, and trust me, it's like you explore exports data, you will see lots of business happening, lots and lots of business happening. Still, I feel like we are only doing 0.1% of the business with international clients. It's a lot of thing to do. So it's like, yeah, for also Raj sir said you should have entrepreneurial spirit, which for me was like every day I used to text Raj sir, when we are meeting next, and I used to go with my doubts and clear to him every time. And he used to, I really struggled. I like, sir, please be free for me. On Thursdays, we were having holiday. I used to sleep till late, but Raj sir used to text me in morning, let's meet at 10 a.m. So I was like, on 9:30, I have to go there. and I have to be there with Raj sir, and I have to clear my doubts. So I think so, sir. Every Thursday we had 1 hour sessions, and I cleared many of my doubts. I really got very good picture talking to
In fact,
him.
Rishabh, I think working with you on this game gave us also a lot of insight, because I think we now planning that new program. We're going to use Thursdays weekly to actually review with every FB student to find out they're going to have their own individual mentors, and they're going to be, reviewed so that individual help can be offered. I also want you to kind of mention a little bit about, you studied a whole bunch of subjects and how some of those coming in handy for you, especially when you modernize and when you're trying new growth hacking tools. What are some of the things? I think those could be also interesting for our attendees.
So, first year was the basic thing which I heard. I got to know that you need to be thorough with accounts. What is profit, what is loss, what is balance sheet, what is trial balance, because in business it plays a very important role. So don't waste your first year, learn a lot. Also, go thorough with economics. Economics is what is the basic of business. Those pricing structures, those dynamics pricing, those supply demand, no matter we might say that, yeah, I know everything, but when you apply this into practical business, it plays a very important role. How you have to supply, what you have to supply, how you have to make sure that the demand doesn't go above the supply. So it plays a very important role. Being an brand market, my brand name is Good Day. So our customer recalls, well, this is a Good Day brand. So it used to pinch me a lot. So I made sure there was lots of demand for my product, but I made sure that I used to supply very minimum, so that let the demand get generated. Let the demand get generated. So this is what I learned after when I thought about demand and supply thing, pricing. Well, coming to my second year, my all of the courses were very good, starting from digital marketing, where I got to learn about many digital marketing tools, the how to check the health of your website, how you have to build your website, how fast it should be, smooth, keywords analysis, everything. So I made sure I had my internal team. I used to go and connect with them. I made sure that my website is very good. Now you can go and check my website. We are doing commerce and we are doing monthly 10 lakhs of business from my website. So a more than a distributor is doing. My average distributor is doing 5 to 6 lakhs of business every month, and I am doing 10 lakhs of business on only on my website. So this is the growth you can have online, which I got to know from Sir when I was really learning digital marketing. My most favorite subject was ERP. ERP, there are certain tools like now you have Tele. Most of the businesses now have Tele. The Tele doesn't give any data because being a management student, when you pass out to Great Lakes or any other B schools, you will be very data-driven person. Always in your mind, you will see like how you are spending ten rupees and how you will earn 110 rupees. So there was the thing that makes me very concerned. A state-wise data, distributor-wise data, percentage, how much money you are spending on a single salesperson. This ample amount of data will get from ERP. Now we are getting it. Production reports. It is all very important. Third and the most important thing was brand management, like how you have to manage the brand. As I told that being my brand call as a Good Day, always people has this perception that Good Day is a biscuit. Still lots of people in India have this perception, but I have this challenge that I'll make this Good Day biscuit out of the way and people will say, yeah, Good Day is just an same as Milton. Now in South, sir, we have to achieve this. In South, people say Good Day matlab Milton, और मिल्टन मतलब गुड डे, मतलब दोनों का प्रोडक्ट सेम, लाइक दे यूज्ड टू इवन दिस इन चेन्नई वी हैव अ वेरी गुड सेल, इन तमिलनाडु वी हैव वेरी गुड सेल, आई एम 50% ऑफ द सेल्स कम फ्रॉम तमिलनाडु, केरला, कर्नाटका, आंध्र. And lots of data you'll get when you learn about things, when you get to know about case studies. I'll please, it's a very humble request. Learn, go thoroughly with the case studies and exhibits. It's really helping me too. Like I've got to know how much potential that maybe in 2002, some meta might have bought this. Sir, I really went to this meta story again, dynamic pricing. So it was like in 2002, that person has a vision to make an India insurance, an online insure, bring an online insurance company. Why we can't have? We don't know. We know that we can order tomatoes and onions from Zomato or an online quick commerce. We'll get in delivery by in 30 minutes. So it's very dynamic. You should be able to meet new people, go outside, meet new people as much. Don't be afraid that you will speak very, you won't be able to speak. You don't have to speak a lot. First 6 months, you just have to listen where pauses they are taking, what they are saying, where it is important to say. Just listen to them. Maybe you will be very much enthusiastic that I know everything, but I have to speak. No, don't. You know, you write it down. Even I every time carry a book. I make sure whatever Raj sir and Gautam sir said, I wrote it down. So that point will cultivate you have to cultivate it. No matter you are a business person, no matter. Take a person with you and say him that write it, make a recorder. You have every phone has a recording, record it and just listen it what they are saying, what they really said about the businesses. So it's really important, just be a good listener for some period of time, maybe a year or two. You will really find it very uh, challenging. You will find it very funny when you will talk to good people. You will be able to stand. Unless and until we don't listen, we won't be able to stand. I won't be able to stand between Raj sir and Gautam sir because I might have knowledge, but I don't know how to stand and I don't know what to say. If I know that, yeah, I have my business, I'm a business person. No, it's not like that. It's very different when you meet very big people. You have to get exposed of everything. It's very important for me. I was like, I don't know what to speak. I spoke to lots of people. They were like, no. Once you, they should be very, they should be like, nahi, the Raj sir or Gautam sir should say one word about him. It should be like that. You should be a good listener for some period of time. So yeah, it works sometimes. And other my favorite subject was one of the was from D. Shriram sir. This called matrix, marketing matrix, where I got to learn about many matrices, ample amount of metrics. Also, a very great professor. Uh, he is very strict with assignments and everything, but you can make sure that you can learn a lot of things from him as well. Right.
Right.
I got very good case studies from Raj sir as well when he was teaching entrepreneurial mindset. The case studies what we had, I think we had one project with startups where where we were asked to asked about the pricing, how they are building how they have built their company, a startup where they are now seed fundings as well. So that was very practical. Raj sir, I think so. Raj sir subjects were very practical. Even marketing metrics was very practical. Theory you will have, but you have to make sure. I made a very see my success. I don't know what was, but I made very sure that whatever I'm learning, the same night I'm putting that seed into my family business. I didn't even waited a single night that I whatever I've learned I've stopped myself. No, I don't know what it will be, what it will be not. I made very sure that I have learned this ERP. I'll go and put that seed into my the family business. That in my dad's mind that yeah, that something is called ERP and it is coming. I made very sure that I used to go in on YouTube and send him some YouTube videos and that yeah, this is ERP. Our competitors are doing that. I have to make sure you have to give an example to your parents. Until and unless you don't show what others are doing, they won't agree to you. It's very common.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
So,
it
so
was my
yeah, I
journey in
think
Great Lakes, and I'm still looking forward to learn a lot from Raj sir, from Great Lakes, from faculties I left, and it's really good to be in touch every time.
Thank you.
yeah, that's amazing, Rishabh. I think that should be the attitude to
Yes,
constantly try to soak in as much as you can. Right? I think that's a fundamental difference, right? I'm sure many of you went through your schooling, undergrad, and so on, because you had to do it, right? Everybody has to go through that.
true,
But
sir.
this is a program you're going to come because you genuinely want to learn, right? Because this is going to have an impact on you and impact on your business and impact on so many other people, right? Their growth depends on you, right? So this is a huge opportunity for you to really transform yourself and in a way indirectly transform your business, right? So I think uh, you know I don't think anybody would have said it better than somebody who has actually been through the journey like Rishabh, right? But again, I would qualify that, that hunger has to be there, right? Everything can be there in terms of a support system. Professor Raj can be there to guide. There are other great faculty, but I think that effort of, as Rishabh said, listening, noting down the things, getting it uh, into the family business, right? Seeing what can be done, right? Constantly thinking, right? How the things that you learn can can be leveraged, right? So that's the effort you have to put in, right? So what Great Lakes does is obviously provide you a platform, and Rishabh did the regular 2 year PGDM program, right? This was not even focused or customized to family business or entrepreneurship, right? But he on his own, right? As I said, sought after the faculty that could help him, right? Took the time from them. Right? This was without there being a specific platform for that, right? In the FBE program, on the other hand, as Professor Raj mentioned, there are many things which are built into the program, right? There are mentors formally given to each of the participants. There are interactions with other business owners, right? I'm sure Rishabh would be one of them, but you are already interacting with him. But a lot of senior industry leaders, right? People who are experts in this area of entrepreneurship, right? And family business, and some of the challenges that Rishabh mentioned, right? Dealing with, multiple generations, right? Convincing them. How do you convince, right? So by giving examples, by talking to people every day, right? By not only looking at numbers, but also the broader context, the relationships, all of that, right? So that's all actually packaged into the program, right? If you see the some of the course names, those will resonate, right? So here it's actually designed based on all these real world challenges, right? Not just finance, marketing, operations, analytics, and so on. It's about dealing with all these other issues, right? Which actually dominate, right? Which may not be only falling in the very logical spectrum, right? Some of these things are on the emotional spectrum, right? So the FBE program, tries to address the entire gamut of challenges that family business owners face, starting from the internal, inward facing, right, dealing with family people, the staff, everything, to external opportunities, market sizing, investments, right? So it covers it 360 degrees. So, any of the participants, if you have questions, feel free to, write it down in the Q&A tab, and we'll address that. So there was a question from one of the participants, whether, somebody at 30 plus years age can still do the program. I think it's typically we are looking at more younger audience, people who are in the first few years of their career, let's say up to 5-10 years maybe. But anything beyond that, I think, we look at it case by case, right? If you have a very good reason, right, have the mindset that I'm ready to, like, unlearn and relearn, perhaps we can consider, right? But you can't have the mindset, oh, I have been in the industry for 15 years, I know everything, right? In that case, it would be hard for you to fit in or benefit from the program. Um, Professor Raj, I think you talked about all the different aspects that we'll cover. I think if we can talk about the pedagogy and, like, the labs and clinics, right? One of the things we have done this year is to actually completely revamp our 1 year flagship PGPM program. And lot of learning now is based on experiential learning, right? Our students, irrespective of the specializations, whether marketing, finance, analytics, data science, product management, right? They're all focused on building the skills. And second, lot of learning is through labs, right? By actually working on real world problems rather than just listening to faculty in the classroom, right? So the same approach we are following for the FPE program as well. And one of the good things about the FBA program is that all the general management courses you'll be doing together with the rest of the PGPM students, rest of our 1 year students. And that's a great opportunity to network as well. There are people with experience from different industries, especially from tech industry, right? And many of you from family businesses would require, you know, help on the tech side, right? You can always reach out to some of these people, and again, they'll be part of different companies, right? Once they get into industry, almost 300 of them. So you get to network with them, but also you have specific family business components, right? Which is only designed for you, custom designed for you, and a lot of the learning is in the experiential learning mode, right? Either you are learning from people who have already done things, who have already dealt with all these problems, are live practitioners, family business owners, or you are working on, let's say, preparing a business plan, um, um, go to market strategies and actual execution, and then potentially pitching it to investors in the last term. Professor Raj, maybe you can talk more about it.
Yeah, I think you nicely captured most of these things. So I think we've also done this year. We've implemented this whole thing for the current PGPM batch. We have tried to move to a extremely hands-on skill development approach. So we introduced the idea of lab courses. So in fact, all our students, irrespective of where they go to work today, are capable of dealing with data, playing around with the low code, no code platforms, generate infographics. In fact, it's being appreciated this year already by our visiting corporations. Visiting faculty tell us that this is interesting to teach students like this, because now we can actually teach you more advanced things, because you're now able to deal with what is important for the day. Second, I think our students develop a great appreciation for technology. And as you would have realized if you have spoken to most people, technology is one of the important levers for scaling, for growth. And therefore, how do we use this? Irrespective of what business you are in, every business has a need for more technology. Third is we introduced this beautiful concept of a sandbox. We gave an environment for all our students to play around and experiment, to come up with prototypes. And with family business, we will go more deeper with this to say, hey, pick up your product, pick up your ideas, your business process. Let's sandbox it. Let us build it in the sandbox. So we'll have a term where we actually work with you on this. Clinics and labs are going to be extensive for family business, because we want this to be hands-on. So during clinics, it will be more one-on-one. You will talk about your specific business, your ideas, your growth challenge, ideas and things like that. And with the labs, you will put them to practice. So you will actually try doing things. So for example, as Gautam said, what we are also thinking is, for instance, if you have an idea that you want to diversify, we'll actually try to help you work with this, talk to real customers, build your go-to-market based on the data that you collect. And actually, when you pitch this to investors, this will give you great confidence that you can actually do things. So it is no more talking about, what is a good go-to-market, what is a good business plan pitch. It's about doing a business plan pitch and getting to know how to make it better. It's like writing a go-to-market plan and understanding how to, revise it, get it better, and so on. So it is by doing that we get better at things, and therefore we will focus a lot on making you do it. These weekly, monthly check-ins will be constantly there for each of you to understand how this is being taken back to your family business, how are you interfacing with your family, and therefore, and also this the other lab that we are thinking about is to how to connect you with public sector, private sector, large private sector people, so that this gives you a way of understanding how people have cracked large orders and how do you get into these segments which are growing. So for example, the procurement from the public sector in certain areas have really increased from the small and medium businesses, and how can we use all these things to leverage growth. So I think, and nothing of this is going to be textbook. We're going to get real people dealing with this to the class. So you ask your questions, you get to work on things rather than trying to understand what's an ideal setup. So I think extremely hands-on, student-centric. We want to see action. We want to We want to be sure that when you leave the program, you already are going with action, which means you already started implementing something rather than trying to say that now I've learned, let me think what to do. There's no thinking what to do. It's about doing whatever you've thought. So we will ensure that you turn all your thoughts into actions. We test it, we refine it, doesn't work, learn from it. You get iterations and keep moving ahead. So that's the way the program is being planned.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this question. So there's a question from Akash. He's a software engineer by profession with 4.5 years of experience, but is planning to join his family business in a couple of years. His father is running the business for the last 30 years and is a first generation businessman. Am I eligible? What about scores and what's the average class profile? Right. Akash, I think, you'd be a prime candidate to join this program. You have the best of both. You have a real world experience in a professional company, right? So you have a sense of how large businesses are run, right? And you have a family business that you can scale up. You're, of course, eligible for the program. As far as the program is concerned, the admissions for the program are concerned, I think we don't have any mandatory work experience requirement, but you'll be required to submit either CAT or uh, ZAT or GMAT test scores. Else, we have our own Great Lakes aptitude test for the family business participants, right? And again, here our focus is not so much on the test scores because we know that uh, the students are inherently motivated, right, to go back to the family business and, like, scale it, right, and we'll be assessing them more based on their awareness levels, right. If you have worked in your own family business, want to see what impact you may had, same again with your professional experience. So the focus would be more on your clarity of goals, uh, and also what impact you had in wherever you have been, right, whether it's your education or it's in business. So that's really the focus. As far as the class profile is concerned, this is the first batch, so hard to tell you what exactly it would be. We are still in the early days of the admission season, but if you look at the general PGPM cohort, right, because in a way you are part of the larger PGPM cohort, the average experience is about 3.5 years, right? Similar to yours. Plus, we also have people coming in from every single industry you can imagine, right? A large number are from the tech industry, just like your software engineers and all. 60% of them maybe, because that's where most engineers end up eventually after their undergrad, and then come to do an MBA. But we have people from every background, right? We have people coming from law to design backgrounds to creative sides. There have been people who are from masters in literature to people who have been in the social service sector or the social sector. You'll find people from every background, right? There may be few in numbers, but you will, right? If you want to go and interact with people from a particular industry or a function, you'll always find them, right? Um, and within the PGPM FP cohort, particularly, we are looking at people typically, either fresh graduates or up to, as I said, up to 10 years experience. So it's going to be a diverse cohort. Um, I have interviewed, right? We just had our some interviews for the FP, and there are people who may be graduating just this year or have graduated a year back, but have already been working in the family business for 3 years now, right? They have been attending college, but also in the afternoon going to their company, working till, like, 10 p.m., right? Managing significant parts of the business. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting batch. And again, we have students from across the country, right? Great Lakes always attracted pan India students, and same would be the case here. Um, So, second question is businesses based in Odisha. So, which campus is better to join? Akash, I think right now we are offering the FP program in the Chennai campus. It was initially also planned in Gurgaon, but this year we are offering it in Chennai only, right? And it doesn't really matter where your business is based out of. I think, as I said, this is meant for a pan-India audience, right? And you will learn about, how business are done in all parts of the country, right? So we are going to have people, of course, from Chennai, but we are also going to get entrepreneurs from all parts of the country to come and share their perspectives with the program participants. So it doesn't really matter where you are located, because you will be in the campus full time for 1 year. And our campus is also a very beautiful campus. It's located on the East Coast Road in Chennai. I think Rishabh is nodding, so maybe Rishabh, you can talk about the campus.
It's a very beautiful campus. Yeah. It's near to beach. You can hang out after classes, or you can. I'm not. It's near to Pondicherry as well.
We are not hearing, don't worry.
So yeah, it's like it was a very great time in this campus. Like we never found it. I'm really finding it very difficult staying in Mumbai right now, because the 2 years were very silent for me. There was no more traffic, no more shor sharaba, nothing. It was like an isolated place. Uh, and anyway, it was a great time with my friends as well. Those birthday parties, those fresher nights, those New Year's, bunking classes, making marking proxies. Anyway, it was just a part of life. You will learn a lot of things. But when we had our first class, we were told about our sir, what Sir Balaji said. Your network is your net worth. And trust me, it's really helping me, because the more I make the network, the more I'm doing the business. Every day I'm building my network every day. And it's not necessary that you just have to get the business. It's necessary that you should build a relationship no matter what, when the person will turn out to be good to you, or you will be turn out good to him. And please don't keep expectation from the day one itself. You are going to face a lots of rejections. Your ideas will be like you don't have any worth saying it. You feel like your degree is not worth it. But trust me, it's a slow and steady process, because you have to change the mindset of a person who is not into this. You have to change the legacy. You have to change the value, traditions, customs, everything. So it's a slow and steady process. We are not been teach the emotional relationship between a father and a son, or and a father and a third generation and a first generation. So it's like it's been cultivated day to day. When you, as I mentioned, that you have to talk to your family members, you have to make sure every day for an hour, or for not even an hour, for 10 minutes, even you sit at the table, you ask what is going on, you can have a tea or coffee with them. It will really help you. That helped me too, that what my father is thinking, what is really going into the business. I'm not only saying marketing, I'm also able to see finance, I'm also able to see operations. So you should be very dynamic. We ourselves, as in I have took a degree in sales and marketing, so I'll only look in sales and marketing. I don't care about what is going in factory, what is going in operations, what is going in finance. I don't know, but you should know it. It's very important, because you don't know what impact is going to make you when you speak with other people. You should know. But they will ask you what's your EBITDA, what's your profit percentage, what percent you are growing every year. It really help you. When sir, I guess when I was really pitching for this government tenders, where we are supplying to this armies. So that time that officer DGP asked me, what is your EBITDA? I was like, I was being asked in this when I was joining Great Lakes. That time I got to know what is EBITDA. I really don't know what's my EBITDA. So that time I got to know that you should really what you're representing yourself. You are representing yourself as a family business owner. Maybe I'm having a business development manager role, but that doesn't mean this is not my family business. Just the title doesn't change your feelings towards the business. You should be sure what you really want to do. Don't just make yourself sit and think, no, I'll just look into this. That's not the only point. We are not donkeys. We are not trained to be donkeys. In Great Lakes, you will not be trained to donkeys. You will be trained like a horse. You should be able to see the world, right? You should have a peripheral view. I'm really like, this is my learning, which I'm getting, that I should have a peripheral. I should be have a view of 360. Like you should be, you are going to be a business owner. You should have the knowledge so that no one fools you. That's my father every time says me that no, you don't have to work. You should have the knowledge when someone is coming to you. You should know that this is how it's done. You are being fooled, and he is trying to fool you. And you, if you are not catching, then he'll fool you again. So make sure that you know what you are into it. So family business is not only about just doing business, just earning money. It will give a lots of hurdles. It will be a roller coaster. I'm mark my words. It's really a roller coaster because you have to juggle
Yeah.
about your feelings as well, about the other person feelings as well. The day you go home, you'll see our mom and dad are not talking to me. What I have done? No, you be on your point. Someday they will change, and it brings some changes.
Yeah.
They also know you didn't anything wrong, but it's just they have bought that legacy till here. That's why they don't want it. They someone have the fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should also have the fear that you do. They are not. You have to make sure you have to make them confident that you are not playing with their legacy or their customs and traditions. Yeah, you are going to bring that legacy forward, and you have to make them confident as well. So don't expect from
So,
the day
so
one
Rishabh,
what you do.
a very quick question, like, did your, parents find any difference in you pre and post MBA?
So they really find like the logical thoughts, the logical answers. Like I think when I was 18, a normal typical mindset of an family business owner is that mera beta, my son got 18, now he should come into business. I turned 18 in August and I was brought into business in September. I think Diwali. So that time I was not having what I should speak, what I should say. I used to go with. I used to go do anything I want. I was like, I have to do this, I have to do that. But what is data? What really you have to look after? You do. It's okay to go everywhere. It's okay to keep your mind open. But you should make sure that yeah, that should go back in your mind that this thing is bothering you, so you should clear it first. Your employee should know that my boss knows what I'm going and what time I'm coming, but that's fine, no problem. But what work you have given to him or her, that make sure you get it done. Get a very free employment in family business. It's like a 9 to 6 job. No, don't do 9 to 6 job. You someday will do 9 to 12 job. Someday you will do 9 to 9 job. Someday you will do no job. You will do no. There is no Sunday holiday. There is no holiday such things like that. First of all, just remove that you have 7 days in a week and Sunday is on holiday. Remove it. From the day when you join this family business program, remove it that you have Saturdays and Sundays. Even in Great Lakes, we Sundays we have lectures. So make sure you don't get into this picture that you are a business owner. You can take any day holiday, but make sure that holiday turns into a good potential for you. Our mind should be free from tensions. We all have stress. We all have certain things going in your mind, but we should make sure that yeah, we are the business owners. We should that thing should not let affect us and our ideas. Be open to new ideas, bring roam wherever you want to go, meet new people, seminars, travel world as much as you can. In this 6 months I have traveled 3 countries. I know what I bought into this business. I'm really forcing my dad that I really don't want to go into this distribution channel. Let's build a brand store now. So I have to make sure why. My dad just asked me why brand store. I know he's going to ask me why there's a distribution network. It's a big legacy. Everyone are doing it. Our competitors are doing it. That's why I don't want to do it. My competitors are doing. I don't want to follow them. I want make them to follow me now. We will build a brand store now. Pan India will bring a brand store so that every footfall comes into our place. So
Yeah.
many
So,
new things will come, sir.
so you just graduated a year back, right?
Yes, sir. I think so. Not a year also.
Yeah, yeah, not in a year. So
In
yeah, that's
April
fantastic,
2024.
right? To see you, you know, so passionately speaking about your family business, and I think that's the reason why, India grows when all the family businesses grow because people put in so much more than what just professionals would. Yeah. So um, I think let's have a round of closing comments and then wrap it up. Professor Raj, any final comments?
Yeah, and I think we've got a lot of iteration today that family businesses matter, and this is something as a scholar of entrepreneurship I've been reading this for a decade now, and not just in India. In fact, you will be very surprised to know that even in the US, a large portion of the GDP is actually contributed by family business. In fact, many listed companies are actually family owned, may not be family governed or family run, but they're largely family owned, and so we will bring to you literature from across the globe, which is typical again of Great Lakes. While keeping your Indian roots intact, we will ensure that your global mindset is expanded. So that is something we're going to work on with you, even in family business, because there are very interesting family businesses from across the world. Maybe you get insights like what Rishabh said. We will let you travel virtually when you are in campus for a year. Of course, you won't get too many holidays. It's a 1 year course. And I hope you didn't hear too much of what Rishabh said about going to Mahabalipuram. Maybe we try to keep that in check. But I hope you'll have a good time. We look forward to seeing some really good family business owners in the program. We want to work with you. We want you to become a proud alumni. Make us proud, make yourselves proud, your family business proud, and also contribute to the growth of this nation. Yeah. Thanks, Gautam.
Yeah. I think we can wrap up now. Rishabh, maybe you can just give your final comments as well.
No, so it's like Great Lakes been I don't know what it was for me, but it was a life-changing opportunity for me. My parents were against me studying. You find it very difficult, but yeah, they were against me studying for 2 years because that's a very huge gap you bring into a business. Been an eldest at the home, you have to make sure nothing is left behind. But yeah, I made a promises, certain promises to my parents that I will focus into my family business, and I made very sure that after my classes, whenever I get time, I'll have a Zoom call with my team. And for that 2 years, I was consistent. I never had a gap even in Diwali vacation or even in Pongal vacation, when I used to go home, I used to make sure I'll go office for 2 to 3 hours and sit and get updates. So don't, it's just you have to have the zest in yourself. You should have that force in yourself that you really want to do it. If you really having a second thought, don't go for it. Make sure you have to be consistent every day. No matter you will get something or not, do you someday you won't even get work. I sometimes even don't, I find it difficult, what work should I do. Make sure you go to office at whatever time you are going, and make sure what you just sit for that. It's not like we will get every day something to do in our life. You need to bring something new every day, something new, like you will find out talking to your employees. It's very really important. So Great Lakes was fun to me. A lot of things I learned. A lot of my I met my guru, my mentor Raj sir. I get problems. I just ping him late night as well. I mail him. He's not into WhatsApp and social media much. So yeah, he knows me like in and out now. So like I have been growing, and he has appreciated me whenever he got a chance. And I had a very good faculty. They have a very good faculties in Great Lakes. I'm not saying just because what I have learned from my faculties is was I'm implementing it. So if you don't have good faculty, if you don't get anything good in your life, it's not. I don't think so. You can't be saying that you don't have any good faculty. It's just you have to have the right vision what that person is trying to say, because that person has also bought something, right? There are nothing. Trust me, guys. There is nothing like good faculties or bad faculties. There will always be a good guru. There will always be a good student, right? Every educator has a different perspective to teach. It's just how the way you want to get teach, Yeah, we know that. See, sir, I'm having my father also said me the same thing. Like, do you have many parents? No. You learn from one parent, right? Every whole life you learn from one parent. How you are able to judge them? Is a my father and mother are very good educator or not? How I'm able to judge them? Now, how we are judging them when I came into campus? I don't know, sir. This is very good perspective or not? Yeah, this faculty is not good. It is boring and all and all. I was like, yeah. And now I got to know when I told my dad that that faculty was not good. That was like, am I good or not? How you are judging me? I gave you life lessons every time. Yes, because I'm your father, you can't say me no. You are not a good faculty. I'm also giving, every day I'm giving you new lectures on some finance, some marketing, some emotional, personal. You have very good subjects as well. In school, you are having good faculties, right? Why just when you grow up, you don't have good faculties? So that's what, like, you have to change the perspective of looking things. That's how it turns to me. When I say I get many LinkedIn messages that does Great Lakes have good faculties? मैं बोला, bro, are you able to, are you a good listener? Are you willing to learn new things? Then yes, go. You will learn new things. There is nothing such like good faculties, bad faculties, placements. If you really have something in yourself, go pitch yourself. It's like you're pitching a startup. You have to pitch yourself to the I know I was been into a family business. I'm being offered a very good job as well. But the thing is, you have to come out of your comfort zone and you have to pitch yourself why you are best for that firm. That's it.
Yeah.
Every day you have to pitch it. There is no that nothing like placements नहीं होगा, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होगा, वैसा नहीं होगा. Placements will happen. The, in that placement, your percentage like won't value much, but the physical appearances and the knowledge you are possess, that matters a lot. So that's what I've learned in the Great Lakes when I every time I walked out and in on the interviews processes. So yeah.
So, lot of wisdom from you, Rishabh. Let's say beyond your years,
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, I think instead of putting the spotlight on who is on the other side, I think it's better to put the spotlight on yourself and see
Yes,
what
sir.
is that you can absorb, rather than what is that somebody else can teach. Right? Ultimately, it's up to an individual to drive their own story, right? And
Yes, sir.
chart their own path. Others can only guide. So
Yes.
I think that realization is great and good to see you wisen up that quickly. Right, and I think doing an MBA like this, I think the opportunity it gives is that on one side you learn from your parents, your business, right? That's nothing teaches you like real life experiences, right? And having mentors, which can be your parents or anybody else in your business, right? Your mentors can be actually your subordinates as well, in your family business, right? You'll have people who have been working there for 30 years. Now, there are both pros and cons to it. Some of that will be that they'll be reluctant to change, but sometimes they also teach you, right? They have seen enough in their life that you may not be able to experience. It will
Yes.
take you a lifetime to experience that, and you can't wait that much. So you learn from them. So there are
Yes.
opportunities to learn everywhere, right? And a program like this ensures that while you continue to learn from your family and all, you also have a framework to look at things in a logical manner, right? To be also be able to articulate things to different stakeholders,
Hmm.
right? To not go with one preconceived notion, but to question things, right? So all that the program helps is by giving you that framework, that perspective, that exposure to be able to question things, right? Asking the right questions, right? And when we meet, being able to reach out to people, right? Reach out to your network, to ask them the questions, right? Because if you ask the right questions, I think that's the most important thing, right? Rest will all follow, right? These days, like you ask a question and everything comes out, right? Even
Hmm.
beyond Google now you have Chat GPT and everything else, right? You just have to prompt and you'll get everything. So it's asking the questions that's the most important thing, and that's what you'll get out of the program, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think had a good session. I think thanks for joining in, Professor Raj, and especially you, Rishabh.
Thank you, sir.
Delighted to have you and speak so
And thank you so
passionately.
much, sir.
So
Thank you, Great Lakes, for giving this opportunity to business owners like us. I would be very grateful if I could join this event and the lectures, the program. I guess I have to take permission for
yeah,
our
yeah.
year. So it's a really great opportunity, guys. Please go learn as much as you can. Don't stop learning. Don't hold yourself. You never know what turns out to be good, what turns out to be what we never know. So there is
We'll
no
get
such
you to
thing
the
like
program, no
bad.
worry.
Yeah.
We'll find ways to get you to the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
Thank
so
you.
yeah, and thanks to all the participants for joining in. I look forward to seeing some of you on campus in May. So, all the best, everyone, and thank you all, and have a great evening.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
bye. Have a nice evening.